Hey everyone, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com. And today we're going to be talking about how to overcome jealousy in marriage. Now I want to start off by saying that having a sense of jealousy in a relationship is quite normal, and it happens to almost every single couple out there. It's when the jealousy starts to create a negative impact on your relationship and you guys start to have not just conversations, but arguments over it and interactions that are really negative and causing some, rifts in your relationship. Jealousy can be really straining and damaging to a relationship when it manifests in such an intense way. And that's what this topic is about. Not a normal sense of jealousy where you have a little bit of a feeling if, maybe another person is looking at your significant other and you're feeling a little bit, possessive, but you're not really doing too much about it. You don't need to do anything. It kind of dissipates on its own and you're able to move on. But again, when the jealousy hits and you feel this sense of almost like this rage and this intensity within yourself, and you're feeling so uncomfortable that you need to say something to your significant other, but when you say it, it always causes an argument. That's when it's unhealthy, and that's when you got to do something about it now before it continues for years and years on end, because it can be really straining. So why does jealousy happen in the first place? I think in order to know what to do about it, you need to know why it occurs, right? So it can be for so many reasons. Everyone is different, but sometimes having unrealistic expectations about the relationship in general can cause jealousy. Maybe some, self-esteem issues that you have or insecurity issues within yourself. You'll feel, the sense of jealousy. A lot of times, just feeling possessive will have us feel jealousy, or worry that we're going to just be out of control and having a loss of control in our relationship, that we tend to get jealous and want to just sink our teeth into it, but sink our nails into it and hold on to what we have. A lot of times we're afraid to lose, our significant others. And so we get jealous because of that, because we're so happy in our relationship and we are so in love that we don't want to lose it. So usually jealousy happens at the end of the day when we're not trusting. It's not even just the fact that a lot of times we don't trust our other halves, which is why we're jealous, but also we're not trusting ourselves. And I've talked about this before about, we need to trust ourselves in relationships that we're going to be okay at the end of the day, no matter what happens. Jealousy usually happens because you're so scared to lose what you have and you feel like your world is just going to be turned upside down, that we tend to do behaviors and do certain actions that are just out of our norm and doesn't make us look good, really. But we want so desperately to stay in our relationship that we do unhealthy things and we say unhealthy things just in an attempt to stay in the relationship that we have. But often that can be really unhealthy and be pretty toxic. Jealousy can really take over in a negative way, and you don't want that to happen. So what can you do about jealousy? Usually if you're really experiencing this ongoing, you can feel really anxious, you can feel depressed, you're not happy with yourself, you're not happy with how the relationship is going. It can be a really hard place to be in. So I really want to acknowledge that for you. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with that and you're in that situation. But so many people are, and there's ways to overcome it. So the first thing you need to do is you have to be honest with yourself that you're jealous in the first place. You have to be honest that this is going on for you, that you're either having doubts about the relationship, insecurities, you've been hurt in the past and you don't want to be hurt again. Whatever it is, it's important that you are honest with yourself that you're jealous, and that you're honest with your significant other about what you are going through. If you're not having an honest conversation, you're not going to be able to resolve the issue. So it's about coming clean to yourself and coming clean with your significant other about things you're feeling. And that does take a sense of vulnerability and some courage to do, but that creates a healthy relationship, and it's important to do that. Get to the root of where the jealousy is coming from. Why do you have it in the first place? What are you afraid of? What do you want from your partner or the relationship that you're not getting? Really dive into it. And once you guys have that conversation and you're honest with yourself, you have to start doing different behaviors. Obviously, the things that you're talking about now when the jealousy comes up, or the things that you're doing when the jealousy comes up, it's not working for your relationship. It's causing strain, it's causing arguments, it's causing rifts, and it's not gonna lead to healthy things down the road. It's just going to create more tension in the relationship and ultimately can destroy it. So you have to start doing different behaviors that are going to help promote the relationship, the healthy relationship long term. Let go of that sense of control. You don't have control over your partner. You don't have control over what he or she is going to do. All you have control over is yourself, and recognizing that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. You are a strong person. And so just letting that go of that aspect can a lot of times be really freeing with people who tend to struggle with that internal jealousy, even though it really is hard. Establish rules and boundaries and expectations in your relationship that both you and your partner are happy with. Don't create unrealistic expectations of, for example, I don't want you to look at another person of the same sex or the opposite sex ever again. I don't want you to look at another person. You have to only look at me when we go out. That's not really a realistic expectation. Obviously, when we're in society, we're looking, we're observing. That's just what we do, right? But there can be certain boundaries that happen and rules, that do make you feel more comfortable being out in public. If maybe somebody approaches your significant other, it starts to flirt. Maybe a rule can be your significant other has to disengage politely. Thank you, but no thank you, and walk away, right? You have to determine what some boundaries are for your relationships that both of you are happy with. But you have to have that type of a conversation, and it needs to be realistic and something that you both agree on. Also, if you're struggling with this on long term and you're trying to do these steps and they're really not working, a lot of times seeking some professional help can be really helpful, because this is an ongoing process. Jealousy is not something that you just fix overnight. That doesn't happen. It's process, and a lot of times it can be layered with certain complexities within ourselves that a lot of times we cannot sift through, and that's okay. And that's why I'm bringing this up. So having a professional to be able to sift through what's going on with you and figuring out ways that you can be more secure in your relationship, secure within yourself, build that trust. And I also have another video that has to do with rebuilding love and trust in a relationship. So I want you to look at that as well, because if trust or lack of trust is what is going on, which is what is creating the jealousy, there's ways to rebuild trust in your relationship. So I want you to know that you can do that as well. Ask me any questions, comment below, please, on my YouTube page. I always appreciate that. And thank you for listening. And I'll definitely see you guys next time, okay? Thanks. Bye.